Hi teachers, here's a quick tutorial just to help us to navigate the student management elements on RazPlus. So when you first log in, it'll likely take you to this as your home page, the student management page. And you'll have some options here in the main bar at the top. So you have My Classroom, which will give you some information about your classroom. And you also have access to your roster there. So if I look at the drop down, you'll see your roster is available there. We'll look at that one in a minute. You also have this reports tab. So when you click on reports, you'll see that you'll have lots of opportunities to view different things of how students are utilizing the RazPlus program. So you see all the headers up here. So there are definitely lots of ways to just kind of get an overview glance of how your students are utilizing the program. And you can filter that information by the different products that are available, which of course we just have RazPlus. So that should be already highlighted for you there. And then you can even view by student groups or by even student names, I believe. And then here you can also drill down by date. So that's the reports tab. Now the assignments tab is where you're going to want to go to get the assignments that students have completed. So that's where you would go, excuse me. And then the in basket is where you would head over to listen to the audio recordings that students have done. So RazPlus does give them an option to record themselves reading text, and this is where you go to listen to those readings and the in basket. Okay, so let's start with My Classroom. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Class Roster, and you'll see when you log into your class roster, you'll have two columns. You'll have General and you'll have RazPlus. You won't have these others because we don't have the licensing for those, so you'll only have these first two. So let's look at General first. You'll see your students are listed on the left. You'll see what their passwords are. And if they're shared with another teacher, that will be listed here as well, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Also, if you've set up any groups, like reading groups for your classroom, you'll have those listed here too, and I'll show you how to do that. And the last column, we're going to actually start over here, is the option to set the program to primary or intermediate. It does not change the resources that are available for students. It only changes what the interface looks like. So if you want RazPlus to have like a homepage that looks more primary for younger students, then you'd want to select primary. If you want it to look a little bit more suitable for older students, then you'd want to click intermediate. So that's where you change that. And now to edit some of this information here, you would just click on a student's name. So I clicked on Alexander Bolton. So when I go all the way across here, you'll see there's an edit option. You can send the student a message or you can remove them. So I'm going to click on edit. This student currently has one icon for their login. So I can add one or two. This is where you can change it. So maybe if you want it to be two, you can add that. You can change it for older students to be text. Room 22, whatever it is. And then we also have over here where it says group. So over here, I'm going to click on group because this student is not currently in a group. And you'll see all these different groups pop up because I'm in a demo account. So lots of different people are adding names of groups. So let's just say that I wanted to add another group here. And obviously you probably won't have any when you first start. So this is where you go to add them. So maybe I want there to be a foxes group. I added jaguars earlier, so I'm just sticking with animals. So I'm going to go ahead and click add, and you'll see that this student, it's already been added for me, and this student has been placed in that group. So I'll go over here and click save. So once I save that information and X out over here, you'll notice that Alexander Bolton is now part of the foxes group that I just created. So that's how you can add them there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to RazPlus now. So under RazPlus, you'll have two other options here. So the level up assignment, if you have that turned on, actually I'm going to go ahead and go in there. So it's on or off are your options. So you'll see that students with this capability will have 18 books that are at their independent level. So this is what you're allowing them to have access to that text. There's also the option here for the reading room. So I'm going to go ahead and open this and I'm going to click customize because I want to show you what you have access to do here. So I'm going to turn the reading room on at the very top and then those customizable features show up. So it's currently set to English and there are leveled books And you'll see that you have the capability to change this. You can say 3 levels below their independent level and 2 levels above, so that they have a range of text to be able to read for, reading for pleasure really is what this is. Or you can even lock them at a certain level. So if you know this student is, say, reading at a level, I don't know, L, then maybe you want to do, levels J to, I don't know, P, a few levels below, a few levels above, and you can lock their levels there too. You can also turn off and on the tradebook quizzes that are available. And you can leave all this availability. So if you want the students to have access to all these different text types, if they're within, of course, that leveling band that you've selected, then they can. And you're going to see there's lots of options here. So maybe you're in a nonfiction series, so you want to leave all of these on. Or maybe you're not, and you want to turn all of those off and then turn them on when you're in a new unit for units of study. It's totally up to you, but you'll see all the different pieces that are there. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and scroll back up here. I'm going to save and close. So you'll see now that some of these kids have their reading room turned on and some do not. So this is where you just slide it over to make it available for them. And you can always change too. If you want it to be just English and Spanish, you can do that too. So the last thing I want to show you here is this share in students option. This is where if you're a SPED teacher or literacy support teachers and you are going to be creating rosters in RazPlus, you can go to share in students, and then you would type in the student's name here if you have their name, their teacher, and I think your school will already be listed here because it knows where you're working. And then you can search and you can add them to your own class, so you have your own roster. Or you can look down here, like for example, if I wanted to add Addison, I can click on that, and maybe I want to add Amy. So once I, add who I want, then I can go back to my roster. And here's Addison and here's Amy. So they've been added to my main roster. So that's how you can do that. And you can see here too that I pulled these from another teacher because it shows up right there. This is their homeroom teacher. It'll show up right there. Okay, just wanted to share those quick tips for the student management side. And I think I'm still learning RazPlus as well. So as I learn new tips and tricks, I'll be able to share them with you. And teachers have been sharing tips with me too who've been using the program. So I appreciate all of your help. Thanks.